we're back on the Smells Like 90s Rock anti-Valentine show. So I was updating, we were just updating Sheila right before we took back to air that there's a lunatic roaming about.
You mean you updated that you left me to the wolves to die?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Like, I'm not good in a crisis situation, clearly, because I got here and there was a dude running around the parking garage, and I'm like, and S. Mark and I were talking about this. It's not surprising to see that because there's usually like a lot of like fraternity guys like up on the other upper levels. Have you ever heard them up there being extremely loud when they're here? I thought maybe he was connected to that, or maybe he was trying to do something to get in the I don't know. So I didn't think twice about it. Then he was like, "Hey, I need to go downstairs
now."
And
pause.
This is where Hot Toddy drops the ball.
Yes, because we literally are on the very bottom of we're in the basement of the world.
I thought we were P1, and isn't there a P2?
We are P1, yeah, and P2 goes up.
Goes up. Dang. See, I here's my problem. I've been out of a job for too long, and I haven't been in school in a decade, so I don't know my numbers or how elevators work, apparently.
Because this is parking level 1.
Right.
If you go up 1, it'd be parking level 2.
Well, after I did it, I was like, well, wait a minute. He's in the garage. If he needed to go down, there are steps just down the way a little bit. So, but yeah, we're on the ground floor. So
there's nowhere to go.
The man was insane, and I dropped the ball and let him in the building. But the good news is he left, and the doors are all locked now, so he can't get back in. But yeah, this is why I'm not good in a crisis situation. And yes, I didn't think about telling you because I was just more worried about this dude I just let in.
I mean, I didn't see him, but I would have.
Well, you have mace. There's a difference. Yeah.
I mean, but even then, I would just be like, "Nah, man, I can't help you. I'm sorry."
Well, see, that was my problem, is because I had access into the building, so it was going to be weird for me to say, "No, sorry, I can't help you," and then walk in the building.
I would have been like, "Sorry."
But he could have followed me because the doors are unlocked in here. For not now.
Not now.
But for a certain period of time, they are unlocked.
I would have just been like, "Nah, man, I can't help you," and then
see, this is why I can't.
I probably would have also called UTPD.
Well, S-Mark, because S-Mark had a run-in with him.
I would be like, there's this dude just like trying to get into the building.
Before I got here, he had a run-in with him, and I was like, that would have been really good to know before I got here, but I didn't. But this happened literally, I guess, while I was on the road.
Yeah, because you thought it would have been good, but then didn't think about me.
I didn't. And S-Mark, after all that went down, S-Mark was like, yeah, did you see that creepy guy that was roaming around out there? And I was like, describe him for me, because I did see dude, and he was acting weird, and apparently he was holding an old traffic cone and threatening to hit S-Mark.
Well, he didn't threaten to hit it. S-Mark just felt like it was a threatening stance.
But he was falsely identifying himself as security, and
which is why I don't understand why you wouldn't have called UPD.
Well, S-Mark should have called UTPD.
I mean, at any time I would have.
But to be fair with you, and I mean no disrespect to UTPD, or maybe I do. I've had a couple not nice run-ins with you all, so you're probably the last people I'd call. Who you gonna call? Not UTPD. This goes back a few years. I didn't do anything wrong, but y'all acted like I was doing something wrong.
Okay, the story needs like an entire. You need to flesh this out for us. What are you talking about?
Okay, so about closing on 7 years ago, there was a night when who was hosting? I guess Henry was still hosting the 80s show back then, and he had pre-recorded it, and he was off doing something, and it was a night. And this was during a time when that door would lock a lot earlier. You remember that?
Yeah.
And you would needed a security key or a student key to get in. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that. You weren't here, and that was a night, weirdly enough, that both you and Pork didn't come in. So I was the only one, and Henry wasn't in here, so I couldn't get in the building. So I was like, oh, God, I don't know what else to do. I posted to the WUTK Facebook page.
Oh, that definitely got a response.
No, it did. It got a like by one of the main people here, and no comment whatsoever, or no advice on what to do. So I was like, okay.
But there's a sign out there that tells you.
Yeah, exactly. Ollie that did it, and I was like, okay, great. So at that point, I call UTPD. I was like, maybe I could, give my plight to them and try to explain to them the situation. Mm-hmm. Long story short, they didn't believe me, and they accused me of trying to break into the building because they're glorified security guards. That's all they are, is glorified security guards. And accused me of trying to break in the building and told me to leave. I was like, okay. And then the next week, you weren't here, but Pork was here. Me and him, and I put them on blast the whole time I was on the air. I was like,
so they didn't let you in?
So they didn't let me in. Oh. So I had to make an email to Benny saying, hey, sorry, the show didn't air tonight because no one let me in the building.